Hey everybody, it's me Stacy, licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creations, here with our Take Two Tuesday event. Are you ready? Oh, we're gonna have so much fun. Now, for those of you who are joining me for the first time or watching this during the premiere, hello, I'm Stacy, and there is a live chat going on right now. Right now during the premiere, which is 6 p.m. sunny California time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're on a desktop or a laptop, live chat over there. And if maybe you're on a phone, I think the live chat might be below me. So don't hesitate to say hello, hello. Tell us if you're a newbie to the Scrapbooking Made Simple YouTube channel, or if you love Sizzix, or maybe where you're from, or maybe just, hey. That'll work, and we will say hello, hello right back to you. Now, this is a Take Two Tuesday event, and that's where I pull product from Jacquard and Sizzix and Couture Creations, and we make some makes together. I try to keep them a little technique-y. I try to use some product you might already have in your crafty stash. Like today, I've got luster wax that we're going to be using, and really show off some of these great companies and some of my designs. Now today we're continuing on with the teal theme. Can you see the theme going on? You see, I have a brand new Sizzix Big Shot machine, a limited edition Stacy Park Gemstone Sizzix Big Shot machine that is available only at scrapbook.com right now. Only place you can get it is scrapbook.com. I also have Teal Sizzix Opulent paper. Oh, it's so good. It really is so good. Limited. When it's gone, it's gone. Also only at scrapbook.com. And the last thing that scrapbook.com has an exclusive on right now are my 6x6 glitter teal cutting plates. And I'm going to show you why those 6x6s are important, why you should have them, regardless of if you've got a Big Shot machine or a Big Kick machine or a Plus or a Pro, a fold away, whatever Big Shot machine you have, you should still have those 6x6 pads. There's a reason for them, and I'm going to talk to you about that today too. But we're going to make a couple makes, and I pulled out some of my embossing folders from my July collection from Sizzix. That was my nod to Christmas. It was a nod to Christmas because generally when I design product, I design for a long-term opportunity with it. I want it to be what they call evergreen, which means that it could be used for Christmas, but it doesn't have to be used for Christmas. You could use the embossing folders I have today were launched with my nod to Christmas, yet there's so much to be done with them. You change the paper, you change the inks, and you change the entire look of it. They are not Christmas specific. I try to kind of stay away from being too theme specific so that you can use it all the time. One embossing folder all year round. Yes, please. I mean, the embossing folders, I think the 3D embossing folders retail for $12.99. Not on sale. Let's just say they're not even on sale. Imagine if you could get, I don't know, you use it even just once a month. That's it. You just use it once a month. That's still just $1. That's $1 each time you use it for that beautiful whatever you make. 2 times a month, you're down to 50 cents. So if I can create product that you can use all through the year, I'm a girl who cost averages everything. I'm like, okay, well, if it's going to cost me $300, but I use it every day for a year, that's less than $1 a day. Okay, I can sell myself on that. If it costs $300 and I'm going to use it once, I might have to give that a little more thought. So when I create product, when I design product, that's kind of how my brain works. How much opportunity can I give you with these designs so that you can take them in your entire crafty journey? That's what today is about. I pulled out embossing folders that I haven't used in a little bit from July. They have coordinating, two of them have coordinating single layer stencils. I don't know if I'm going to play with the stencils today or not, but I will have all of this product for you on sale at 30% off right now. It's on sale right now, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Go visit our site, except for all that beautiful teal stuff I'm going to show you. That's only at scrapbook.com. So you get the plates, you get the Opulent, you get the Big Shot Machine limited edition on all of it, scrapbook.com, and then the embossing folders and the fanciful framelits that I have for you. That's here. So, are you ready to play the day away? I've got some super fun things to work with. I can't wait to show you. I think I'm going to start off pretty simple. Yeah, maybe pretty simple. I'm deciding. I'm choosing. My videos are not scripted. They're not edited. They are what they are. We get what we get and we go with what we got. Did you go with that? Did you follow that? So I think I'm going to start off with this one right here. And this is using my French twist embossing folder. Isn't that pretty? And it makes a pocket. Well, it can make a lot of things, to be quite honest with you, and that pocket can go this way or that pocket could go that way, but it makes a pocket. And we put a Scrapbooking Made Simple gift card in there. I'm going to show you how I did this because it's fun, it's easy, it's fast, and then we're going to move on. So I'm going to tilt down for today, and let's get started. It's good to see everybody on Take Two Tuesday, which in 2025 will be changing. There won't be any more Take Two Tuesdays anymore. Nope, there'll still be a Tuesday event, but I've got something brand new for you. Can't tell you yet. Gotta wait till December. But boy, I've got big news to share. Okay, down we go. Good to see everybody. So I'm my own camera person here, so thank you for bearing with me while I kind of get things situated. We're not super high tech, but we get the job done. We're a little independent retailer is what we are. I'm a mom and pop store. I actually have a retail store here in Canyon Country, California. All right, so we are going to start with French twist. Here's the packaging on it. You can see my teal on it. And while the packaging shows it this way, I most often use it this way. Doesn't mean that you can't. And if you go into our website and you pull this item up, you will see sample after sample after sample of using this folder in many different ways. Today, I'm going to use it like this, and I'm going to be using it with my Opulent paper from Sizzix, my teal Opulent paper. Now, I don't know what the camera can see and I don't know what the camera can't see, but Opulent paper is made up of 5 specialty papers. You get 10 sheets each. There's a glitter teal. There's a matte finish teal. There is a brushed metal teal. There is a pearl teal, and there is a mirror teal. 10 sheets of each, available only at scrapbook.com right now. Do not miss it. They have been selling out of it and selling out of it and selling out of it. And then when it is finally gone, when Sizzix has sold out of all of it, it is not coming back. It's just gorgeous. So I'm going to pull some of this, and I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab the pearlized sheets. It's a metal sheet. I'm going to grab one of the pearlized sheets. Now it is A4 in size. Let me go back just a little bit. It's A4 in size and maybe down just a little bit more. There we go. A4 in size. So it's a little bit longer than 8.5 by 11 and a little bit more narrow, but about the same size. And when you cut this in half, you now have something that is A5 in size. And when you cut that in half, you now have something that is, oh, that was a horrible cut, but that's okay, we're gonna live with it. You now have something that is an A6 size, and Sizzix embossing folders are A6 in size. I didn't get it all the way to the edge, but I think we'll be okay. Now, the way to know that you've got the Sizzix embossing folder in the right direction is first you'll be able to see some of the printed design. It's called indexing. So they print the design on the front along with the Sizzix logo. So not sure if I can get a, oh, there you can see some of the design maybe and the Sizzix logo. With Sizzix 3D embossing folders, if you turn it over, you'll see the back side's a little bit more narrow. That's how you know that it's definitely the back side. It's a little bit more narrow. Now we're using a paper today that is double-sided, so it doesn't matter which side I put it on. However, if I was using, oh, let's say, a single-sided paper, so this is the brushed metal. Okay, again, I don't know if I can get my camera on this or not, but it really is just the most beautiful paper. So if I were to put my brushed metal paper in here, and this is what I want to see on my finished project, I need that to be facing me. But if I have it facing down, now I'm doing a debossing, because this is what you're going to have to do is turn it over to see what you get. So when you're using a patterned paper or a single-sided paper, you always want to make sure that that pretty paper is facing you before you put it through. I'm going to go ahead and let's see, maybe this one's a little bit, is this one a little bit longer? Nope, it's not. I'm going to stick with what I got. I'm going to put this in and I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine. So again, this is the brand new Stacy Park Gemstone Limited Edition Teal Big Shot machine. It has my name on it. Has my name on it right there. It has the Sizzix logo. Turn it around to the other side and guess what? It has my name on it and the Sizzix logo, or the Big Shot machine. So it is a beautiful machine. It is the standard size. So it holds anything that is 6 inches wide is going to go through it perfectly. It comes with two sets or one set of clear plates. So you get one set of clear plates, which are not going to stay clear forever. You get the A shim and you get the base shim. That's what comes with the machine. The base shim, the A shim, and then 2 cutting pads. Now we're going to talk about these cutting pads in a little while because I'm going to explain the difference between full-size cutting pads versus my 6x6 cutting pads. And let me tell you, there's a difference. There's a reason for both. We are going to be using the embossing folder right now. So I don't need my A shim, which is nice. The shims and the plate will tell you. They give you your sandwiches on how to make your Sizzix products work inside your Sizzix machine. So they keep it pretty easy peasy. I can see on my base platform that it tells me, oh, embossing folders, look at right here. Here's my sandwich. It's my base plate, my embossing folder, and one of my clear plates. So I put that down. I've got my embossing folder with my Sizzix face up. I go chomp, 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 because I like to put my embossing folders in forward this way. And let's just get that in there nice and straight. Well, it's not going to be straight, but that's okay because I didn't cut my paper straight. And then I need one clear plate over the top. And that's going to do my embossing. And I just send it on through. Now, if you haven't seen embossing before, this is just a piece of molded plastic. But what it is able to do to paper is amazing. It instantly adds detail and depth. It's so good. Love this. So this is my French twist embossing folder. But I want that embossing element. I want that detail that I see. I want it to come up a little bit more. Oh, wrong direction. So I'm going to take some of my luster wax. Now, luster wax is from Sizzix, and it comes in oodles of colors. We have some exclusive colors here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and the foremost common colors that are sold everywhere would be gold, silver, ivory, and what they call rose gold, but it's copper. Copper, okay? It's not rose gold at all. It is copper. This is a true wax-based product. It is not water soluble. It has an orange oil smell. It smells lovely. And it will go on metal and glass and plastic and wood and paper and fabric and anything, especially non-porous materials, because it is not a water soluble. It is a true wax-based product. I'm going to use this to add some element, some beautiful luster gold element to my image here. And I think I'm going to grab some white paper. And I'm just going to use my white paper kind of as a little place to just kind of tap things off and make sure of my color. Oh, see, look at how that goes over white. I mean, look at how that just, it's dreamy. The color is beautiful, and it dries almost instantaneous. Truly, almost instantaneously it dries. And it goes on, that coverage is absolutely fabulous. So I want to do that to my embossed element here, my embossed piece of paper. And I'm just gonna go right on and put some right on. And I'm just trying to highlight that embossing detail. That's all I'm trying to do, is highlight some of that embossing detail. Okay, I think that's pretty good. A little heavy there, but we're gonna go for it. Should have left it alone. You know when you should have left something good enough alone? And yet I keep going. All right, I'm gonna let it be. I'm just gonna pull some of that. There we go. So you can see the metallic going on it, and you can see now why it's called French twist. You can see that twist going up. Oh, maybe just a little bit more right there. Now that I can see it, maybe just a little bit more right there. Oh, better. It's beautiful. But you're going to say, Stacy, you got it all over. Look at it's up on the top, it's on the bottom. I know, because when I designed this folder, while you absolutely can leave it just like this, my intent was that you were going to cut it. So I kept the lines pretty straight, so it's a pretty straight cut. Straight down there. And straight down there. One cut done. And then my second cut. Now, I don't have to cut this if I don't want to. If I had kept that clean, I could put this on here and leave that bottom. But I love it without the bottom. I absolutely adore it without the bottom. And again, it's a pretty simple cut. It's just a very easy going swoosh. Done. Right? Pretty simple. Now this piece was pretty darn close. Look at that. That was pretty darn close. I think, well, I think I'm going to take this and cut this with one of my large Fanciful Framelit rectangles. So Fanciful Framelits are by Sizzix. They're my design, and they are unique. They are not like any other framelit die out there, because you see they have a die and then an embossing feature, and then a die and then an embossing feature. Typically, when you have a die that has a dotty edge or a stitched edge or an embossed edge, it is built into the die. And whether you like it or not, you're going, every time you roll that die through, you're going to get that edge. I wanted to keep them separate. I wanted to keep them so that you could just die cut, you could just do an embossing, or you could put them together. Now I'm going to put these on my, in fact, I think I'll take off all of them, and I'm going to put them on my gotcha tool. If you haven't seen a gotcha tool, well, get ready. It's pretty amazing. It is a tool by Sizzix that I designed years ago, and they just upgraded it. They just made it beautiful. It has this fold away backing. It will stand up right on your making space, and what does it do? Bam, hello, I gotcha. And how many dies will it hold? Oh, oodles and oodles of them. It will find your die out of the trash bin. It will do your, if you're a sewer, it will hold your pins. If you are a jewelry maker, it will hold some of your metal findings. It will, it's just, if you have a spouse who likes to do work in the garage, you might find that your gotcha tool disappears. It will find dies behind that are under paper. And I don't even have to be, I'm about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches away, and it's grabbing the die. It's pretty rock star. So, gotcha tool, it's a must-have for everybody, whether you are a paper crafter, a sewer, a knitter, jewelry, whatever it is you do, this is a tool for you. So I'm going to take the largest die, and ooh, by the hair of a chinny chin chin, I'm just going to cut out. Maybe I take a full-size sheet so it's not so hair of a chinny. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, I can use this one. There we go. This is a good place for me to kind of explain the difference between full-size cutting pads and my 6x6 cutting pads. So this die is fairly large. It's too big for my 6x6. It's right on the edge, and it's just too big for my 6x6 because it's almost that exact same size. So we use it with our larger cutting pads that come with your machine. And because the die has a little bit of space here and a little bit of space here, the larger dies you want to use in your bigger cutting pads because they will keep your cutting pads from warping, at least warping more. Cutting pads are meant to be cut into. That's going to happen. They will warp over time because you're putting it through a machine that has a roller, whether you're using a switch or you're using a big shot or you're using a fold away or a plus or a pro. They all have a roller that's built into the machine that adds the pressure. So by using a die that is about the size of your cutting pads, when you feed it into your machine, this at least offers some stability, some rigidity, so that your plates don't warp as much. Now, if I were using, oh, let's say the next size down, can you see how much more space I have on either side when I feed it in? That's going to allow for more warpage because there's no metal here to kind of keep the plates rigid. However, if I use them on one of my 6x6, Look at that. There's very little space. So the warpage is much less. I'm looking at the space here and here. Not so much on the side, because it's when you feed it through that that warpage happens. So by having smaller plates, more the size to the dies you use, and about 80%, maybe 85% of the dies on the market today will fit a 6x6 plate. Now these are sold at scrapbook.com right now. It's the only place you can get them. And they are limited in how many Sizzix manufactured. My recommendation is that you buy 2 sets, and I'm going to tell you why. I always have a plate that's called a cut plate, and you can see it's cut in 2. And I always have a plate that is a do not cut plate. This plate might have some embossing from the pressure, but I try not to cut into it. And that keeps the plates from warping even less. A cut plate, a do not cut plate. Now, after time, your cut plate is going to get so cut into, it may crack in half. You are going to have to replace this at some point in your crafty journey. Cut plates are meant to replace. But if you own at least 2 sets, you start with this as your cut plate and this is your do not cut plate. Then this one, you finally can't use it anymore. She's given it all she's got, and you gotta let it go. You toss it. Then this one becomes your new cut plate. You open up your new package and you take out your new do not cut plate. Then you cut into this one for as long as you can. It could be a year, as long as you can. And when this one is no longer usable a year later, this becomes your do not cut plate, and you take your last, that becomes your cut plate, and you take your last do not cut. That way, by having 2 sets, you extend the life of how long you have these. Why is that important? This is the first and only time Sizzix has ever sold 6x6 plates in a pair, in a set. They haven't done it ever before, and I don't know that they'll do it again. So by having 2 sets, you've gained yourself an extended period of time to be able to use 6x6 cutting pads, which then extend the life of the full-size cutting pads that you have. There is an absolute reason for them. Absolutely. Not just because they're pretty, not just because the size is cute. I'm trying to extend the life of your product. If you're using this less and having less warpage and using this more and you're not getting any warpage in this either, well, you've just extended your crafty stash. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this one. So I need to bring over my Sizzix Big Shot machine. My gemstone Big Shot, that never gets old. I'm just going to tell you, it never gets old. I've got my base platform. I do need my A shim that comes with your machine, because you need this to cut wafer style dies. So thinlits, framelits, anybody's wafer style die is going to work. I've got my cut plate. I've got my paper. I've got my large fanciful framelit, my Renee's rectangle, and my do not cut plate, and I'm going to send it on through. This is an open frame die. I just need to cut it. I just need to roll it once. That's all it is. It's a one roll, and bam, we're done. Piece of cake. My lines are now all straight. I didn't cut it myself. Wahoo kachoo. Pretty, right? And now I can place this on it. I'll center it up, my bottoms, and then I will come back. Now remember, I freehanded this. So I will center it up, tape it down, and then I will just come back and trim off my edges. Look at how pretty is that. So let's get some Stacy tape. This is just a double-sided adhesive. Easy to use. I'm just going to put it to my edges. And away we go. Peel back my liner. Expose the sticky, and anywhere it's overlapping or it's extending outside of my die cut, all I have to do is fold it back because it's double stick tape. So if it's extending outside my die, if I've made it too long, I'm not going to bother to cut it or to tear it because you can tear this paper, the Stacy tape. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it back in on itself. It's double-sided tape. Now let's line it up. Perfect right there. Looks pretty good right there. Now I'm just going to trim off the back. I'm going to go zoop. Sound effects required here. I have very unusual sound effects, but they are required, so let's go zoop. And I have made a pocket out of my French twist. Now this can be for any occasion. If you are doing a baby announcement, you do it in baby colors and you stick your picture of your new baby or grandbaby. If you're doing a wedding invitation or a save the date, if you're doing your Christmas cards, if you're doing a gift card, this is a great way to go. It's so beautiful. It's so elegant. But let's take it to the next level, right? Let's go ahead and let's make it even more. So I think I'm going to make an insert for that. And to do that, I'm going to use my next frame down. But I'm going to start with the embossing feature. Grab the embossing feature. I'm going to do the embossing feature first. I always do the embossing feature first. It's more like a textured feature. It's not a 3D embossing because obviously there's no two pieces to put together and smoosh that paper. So doing it first and then running it through and die cutting with it, there's nothing really to smoosh down. And that's why I do it first, because it is easier for me to line my die after I've embossed than to die cut and try to make sure that my embossing element doesn't move. Let me show you. I'm going to put this just to the side for a moment, and let's grab some of my gold. So I've got gold Opulent, and I love, love, love me some, do we want to do it? Yeah, I think we'll do it in the gold pearlized too. And Opulent, of course, it's always 5 finishes, 10 sheets each. I think the festive and the muted, you get a little bit more. Let's grab that die. I want to make sure that I have plenty of room. I think the festive and the Opulent, it's 6 colors. Now I'm going to emboss this first. I've left plenty of room for me to die cut because I don't want to have to like have it so close. I want to give myself a little breathing room. And to do that, I have to bring back over my Sizzix Big Shot machine. My Sizzix Stacy Park Gemstone Big Shot machine. Told you it never gets old. I'm going to be using my base plate, what comes with it. But I don't need my A-shim anymore. Nope, I have to bring over something called, I think it's a impression pad, emboss and impression pad, or emboss and transfer pad. I call it a squishy and a knock-knock. So you get why I call it a squishy? It's really a silicone pad, but it squishes. And this is the texture pad, but it knock-knocks. Easy to remember, squishy and knock-knock. I take that base platform. I put my knock-knock down. I put my squishy down. I take my paper, and because this is two-sided, I'm going to end up with an embossed and a debossed edge. Because if you've got something that's embossed, flip it around, and all of a sudden you've got something that's debossed. I'm going to put my die, my embossing die, right up against it. And then it's up to me. I can take one of my 6x6 cutting pads to go against it. All I'm doing is sending it through, and since it's not cutting, it doesn't really make a difference. I can take one of my full size, up to you, and send it on through. So I'm not cutting, so there's no warping going on here. And I can bring it back if I want. And what's happening is that roller that's in your machine is pushing down on that die and pushing it into that squishy. And that squishy is forcing an embossing element. So if we bring it over, we have a debossed side. So the design is set down in, but if I flip it over, I have an embossed side. You have options. Now, I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to grab my frame, and I think I'm going to do the debossed side. That's what I'm going to show. It's so pretty. I can put my frame right over the top of it. It is a perfect fit. And because I don't want it to move, I'm going to go ahead and use some maker's tape. Little bit of maker's tape. This is just a glorified Post-it note that won't hurt the paper that you are taping it down to. It'll hold things in place. Make sure that there we go. It will hold things in place, but it won't hurt the paper. Now, I'm ready to die cut. Bring my machine back on over, and let's talk. I'm not embossing anymore. I've already got my emboss and my deboss. Now I'm die cutting. What do I need? I need that A shim. I'm not doing a big die. I'm going to use my 6x6 cutting pad. Smaller die leaves less. I'm not worried about the sides. It's what's here and what's here. The space is so minimal that there's structure here to hold my cutting pad from warping. It will at some point, you're going to get a little warpage, but this is going to keep it to a minimum, and it's going to extend the life of your full size cutting pads. Let's roll, 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 roll. It's a easy die. It's an open frame die, which means it's not intricate at all. So really, it just takes one roll through. Just one. Look at that. Bam, you're a die cutter. Take that right off. Put it right back on my gotcha tool. And oh, this one went to the back. One time, one of my little dies went under here because it's magnet. Somebody's like, Stacy, in the live chat, your die's on the back side. So now I have got what's starting to be a little insert for my card. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to add a little bit of pizzazz. Let's see, do I have a piece of paper that's big enough? Is that big enough? Ooh, that's not big enough. Is this one big enough? Nope. Let's see. Let's grab another. Oh, this one's big enough. Perfect. I'm going to add a little bit more pizzazz to this. So I'm going to take and run some luster wax, and I'm going to do it in silver. I'm going to run some luster wax right down the sides and edge this out. So I've taken a piece of white paper just to give me a nice straight edge. I'm going to put a little bit of my luster wax, and there we go. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to add a little bit. Perfect. And then I'm going to rotate. Perfect. And then I'm going to rotate. Perfect. And I'm going to rotate. I might need to add just a little bit more. Perfect. Now I've edged all the, oh, look at how pretty is this. Now all I have to do is start matting. So I love this, and I think I'll put this on, oh no, I already did that one. I think I'll put this on, oh, I've got that. Oh yeah. So I've got this piece, which is a little piece of the satin finish. And I'm just going to mat this down and cut away. And it's already dry. That really does look good. I'm very happy with myself. Now this is luster wax on my craft mat. How do I get rid of that? Take a baby wipe, get it a little wet or just some water. Mr. Clean Eraser, and bam, gone. So pretty. Isn't that beautiful? And that having that just that piece of white paper as an edge to help make sure that my lines stay nice and crisp and straight. A piece of copy paper will do it. What piece of paper do you have in your crafty stash that you bought 5 years ago and you loved it then, and you look at it now and go, oh, why did I do that? What was I buying you for? Grab it and use it as your edge. If you're not going to use it for anything else, use it for that. And I just want a little edge around it, that's all. Now you probably would take a trimmer. I know, I'm a girl who freehands. I have got something on these scissors. Boy, howdy do I. There we go. I just go for it. It's handmade, made from the heart. And now I've got a perfect little insert. Come on, slip on in, there we go. Perfect little insert. But I'm not done. I could then take and, oh, I've got it on the back of something. Boy, do I ever. On my, oh, it's on my hands. Whoop. Like, how am I getting all this silver everywhere? It's on my hands. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and matte this some more, and I think I'm going to do it in the gold. So how about a piece of maybe mirror gold? Is that big enough? Oh, but the hair, oh, okay, that works for me. I'm going to matte this down. I'm just going to cut this piece out, matte this down. I'll clean the cut up later. I just want to get it down. Pull off my liner. It a little bit over, so I just fold it right back in on itself. Now, if this is your first time watching, my videos are unedited, unscripted. They are what they are, and we get what we get. I've got a little bit of silver on there from my fingers. Well, it's going to stay. And then let's cut this on down. And let's cut this on down. And now we've got this to go in. And I think I'm going to do one more mat, and I think I'm going to do it in the glitter paper. I think I'm going to leave a nice border. I'm going to cut myself a hunk out. And I'll clean it up after I've taped it down. Okay. Maybe zoop, zoop, zoop. And down I go, and I think that's a nice looking border right there. And then trim it out. And I'm just eyeballing my spacing. Okay, the last thing I have to do, how cute it is. Look how cute it is. The last thing I have to do is to take a, let's see, do I have a gift card somewhere? Take a gift card. And put it right in the middle. What a beautiful way to give somebody. Oh, and I could take, I have got Wordies. These are Wordies. They're by Creative Expressions, and I've got a whole bunch of different sets. I mean, they must have 15 sets, different words. You get 2 in white and 2 in black, and they say the same thing. So 2 white, 2 black, and I do believe you can run these through a minx and foil them, but I could I could do Make a Wish. You just cut them out. Bam. Sentiment done. Love Wordies. They're so fast and they're so easy. Trim it down just a little bit off the top. And a little bit off the side. Not perfect. but livable. Do I like it in the black or do I like it in the white? I think I'm going to like it in the white. You can choose. You get 2 sheets of black and 2 sheets of white. The same words on all the set, but oodles to play with. And when you just need something small, easy, done, these are great and they're so affordable. So let's see. There we go. I mean, if you're giving somebody a gift card, I think Make-A-Wish is great. Because they get to wish for what they want. Make a wish and put it on. Now, I used paper. I used paper, a lot of paper. I used my die cutting machine. There are no fancy schmancy embellishments on here. It's paper. Look at what you can do with paper. As I said, save the date invitation, wedding invitation, Christmas card, new baby. What's happening in your life? Happy Father's Day, Happy Mother's Day. Change the paper. And you change the entire look of this card. But it starts with French twist. That gives you that beautiful pocket to play with. Okay, we got to move on. Let's see if I have time to do one more. Ooh, we're cutting it close, but let's see what I can do. I'm going to pull out my Shine Bright embossing folder. So again, part of my nod to Christmas, but is it Christmas? I don't know if it is or not. Maybe a little bit. And I think I'll pull, I've got plenty of this paper out, so we might as well just use it, right? Oh, and I think that's going to be fine because I know I'm going to cut this. So let's just chop this down. And let's emboss. So again, it's a double-sided paper, so I can get away with either side facing up. I've got my bright pattern. I've got my Sizzix logo. I bring over my machine. I am doing an embossing folder, so I know right away I just need my Sizzix platform. I put it chomp, chomp, chomp. I always do, oh, chomp, chomp, chomp side, chomp, chomp, chomp side in. Everybody does it differently. There's no right, there's no wrong. You do what works best for you. I have just always done chomp, chomp, chomp. And either a teal or a clear cutting pad, and I send it on through. And it's going to do that embossing for me. Can you see how fine those dots are? They're just beautiful. They're not bold. This is all year round embossing. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to take a little bit of my silver and I'm going to highlight some of this just to bring up some of those little dots, just so they shine a little bit more. I don't want too much. Now this does have a coordinating single layer stencil to go over the top, which would make it a little cleaner where you're only getting the dots. But I'm a go for it kind of girl today. And with luster wax as opposed to ink, and with as fine of these dots, ink's going to go through the dots, the coordinating stencil, easy peasy. The luster wax goes on a little bit easier sometimes if you just put it direct. So I've got a little bit of metallic going on, not a lot, just a little. I'm not trying to hide all my teal, but I am going to die cut it. And I'm going to do it with my medium frame, not my biggest, but not my smallest. And I think I'm going to die cut that out. Bring back over my machine. Remembering that I need my A shim. Gotta have that A shim if you're doing a thinlit, a framelit. Gotta have that A shim. And now, if I were to use one of my big cutting pads, you can see how much space is on each side. But if I use my 6x6, you can see how much space is on each side, really cutting down that warpage. And then one more over the top, my do not cut, and then we'll send it on through. And because it's an open frame die, it's not intricate at all. One roll, that's all you gotta do. One roll. Now little creaks and cracks are okay. Don't be afraid. It'll be okay. Bam. Now I think I'm gonna back this. Let's see what papers I've got sitting here. I think I'm gonna back this in maybe, I got plenty of this one. Yep, I think I'm going to mat it in this. So I took that embossing folder and cut it into a rectangle. I could have cut it into a circle or a square or a top note. I have fanciful framelits in all kinds of shapes. Okay. And trim it out. And each shape has a different embossed element. So every shape has a different design. Every fanciful framelit has a different embossed element. So you have options. Yikes! All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Now I think I might back this onto some silver. So let's pull over my silver Opulent. Again, 5 different specialty sheets, 10 of each sheet. And I love the satin. Do I have a piece that's, oh, I do have a piece that's already cut. Happy day. I love the satin. It's beautiful. I love the satin in this paper, in my teal paper too. It really is just absolutely gorgeous. The satin is so beautiful. Ooh, maybe we'll back this in the satin. Ooh, I have thoughts. So I think I'm going to emboss this. And I'm going to use the biggest frame that I have. So I'm going to emboss first with my largest frame. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Now, this is single-sided paper. So this is where it kind of becomes important that you think about how you want it to look before you do your embossing. Let's bring over my Big Shot machine. I don't need my A shim anymore because I'm embossing, but I do need to bring over my squishy and my knock knock because I'm doing my embossing. And these are not, they don't come with the machine. The emboss and transfer sheets or pads or whatever these are, I forget the name of them, they're sold separately. Now, if I put my paper face up with the pretty side facing up and I put my die face down, it's going to give me a debossed image. If I turn my paper over and I put it this way, it's going to give me an embossed image because now it's going to be debossed here. So if I flip it over, it'll be embossed. How about we do a debossed version? Let's go ahead and I'm going to put my paper straight up. I'm going to put my die with the embossing element. It has no cut line. Straight down. I'm going to put a cut plate, a do not cut plate, whatever you've got handy to go right over the top of it. All of them will work because it's not cutting into anything. It's just finishing the sandwich off. And then I send it on through. And as I roll, my squishy is going to get longer and longer because it's being compressed. It's forcing this embossing. And then I can bring it back. Perfect. Okay, look at that deep emboss. Is that gorgeous? Or that's a debossed. If I turned it over, then we'd have an embossed side. Look at that though. Let's pay attention to the beautiful debossed side. Now I want to cut it. So I'm going to get my die that goes with it. Look, it fits right over the top. I don't need my squishy and my knock knock anymore, but I do need my A shim. Bring it right on back. Line it up. Now should we tape or not tape? To tape or to not to tape? Normally I'm a girl who flies by the seat of her pants. But just in case, all right, let's see. Now I need to use, oh, I can tell you that's off. I'm too low. I definitely need to use my bigger plates. So I've got my, ooh, that's my do not cut plate. I've got my cut plate down. I've got my debossed, beautiful silver Opulent. I've got a cut plate over the top. Got a little bit of luster wax on there, but that's okay. And roll it on through. And again, it's a single roll. It's an open frame die, which means it's not intricate at all. I can literally put my hand through the middle of the die. And bam, cut. Guess what's going to fit perfectly in there? Because they all came out of the same die set. Bam, done. But I want to cut a little bit of an opening here. A little bit of an opening, because I want to put a gift card there. How do I do that? I'm going to grab my fanciful framelit circles. So you can see you've got die embossing, and it's a totally different embossing element. Totally different. I'm going to grab this one right here, because when I designed these, I designed this die to fit right there in case you wanted to ever pop it out and have a opening. Who knows, right? I don't know. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my maker's tape, and I'm going to tape this die in place down towards the bottom. Because I want to cut a half cut or a 3/4 cut. I'm going to bring over my 6x6 plates. I've got my A-shim, my cut plate. Ah, stay, stay, stay. That's maybe a little bit more with that luster wax. And I'm going to put my second cut plate to where my tape is. I'm only going to cover 3/4 of the die. Because there's no plate here, there'll be no pressure here. That means my die cutting machine can't cut my whole circle out. Nope, won't happen. Let's bring over my machine and let's feed it on through. So there's no cut plate over the top of this, which means there's no pressure for the machine. And roll, 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 and done. Let's see what we get. I got a 3/4 cut. Yay! Makes my heart happy. So I've got this to here, this to there. Let's just put these down. I want to make sure I don't put any tape over that 3/4 cut. And let's line it up. It just fits in here perfectly because it was all done using my fanciful framelets, my Renee's rectangles. Now, one more piece. What if we did the beautiful, I mean, this is really beautiful. What if we did that beautiful, oh yeah, that's lovely. Okay, I'm happy with that. Put my die right on my gotcha tool. Yeah, see? Wait, my lid is hiding underneath. So let's put this down. And again, I'm using paper. No fancy special embellishments. You may already have luster wax in your crafty arsenal. Luster wax is readily available at a independent retailer that carries Sizzix. So there we go. And now I can take and put my gift card in there. And I could take my Make-A-Wish. Since, oh, but I like the white ones. How about Celebrate? Just cut out my little white Celebrate. And we're done. So I need to make sure it's going in the right direction. So Celebrate. And maybe we trim it out with just a hair bit of that. Oh, I couldn't have used it all. Hair bit of that. Do I have a little bit in my... No. Oh, I do. I pulled it out of the trash can. Shh. Is there a 5-second rule for paper? Well, if you know me, 5-second rules really don't apply. If it isn't green, I'll pull it out of the refrigerator and I'll give it a whirl. Celebrate! Look at how pretty, and the gift card. So we used 2 of my folders today from my Nod to Christmas collection from July. We used fanciful framelits today. We used luster wax today. We did embossing, we did debossing, we used, we just had a great, and look at how fabulous they look, and they're so easy to do. You have options. But I just wanted to make one with my Golden Rings embossing folder, which is also from my July collection. So this is done in my Golden Rings embossing folder and my top note, my Doris's Dottie top note die, and my wordies. So whether you're making something for a gift card or a picture or an invitation, or you're just making a super easy, pretty, fun, it's just paper. That's what I've used today. Nothing more than paper and my Big Shot machine with some embossing folders. Okay, a little bit of luster wax. But do you have to have the luster wax? Well, you don't actually have to have it if you don't want to use it. It does look good. So, do we like? Are we excited? Is it a wahoo kachoo? I think so, and I hope you agree. The Teal Opulent is absolutely gorgeous, but you can only find it at scrapbook.com right now. The cutting plates, 2 sets. It will extend the life of your clear full-size cutting plates, and because they're limited, when they're gone, they're gone. They're not reproducing them. So if you get 2 sets, I'm sure you've got a long time to use them, and saving those longer, your standard size cutting plates when you have dies that are better suited for that size. And then the Sizzix Big Shot Machine, the Stacy Park Sizzix Big Shot Machine in teal. Gemstone, also scrapbook.com. So scrapbook.com, scrapbook.com, and scrapbook.com. And then everything else you can find here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. So let me show you. These I can't do anything about. That's at scrapbook.com. But I can do my product. So on sale this week at 30% off will be my circle fanciful framelits, my top note fanciful framelits, my rectangle fanciful framelits. It will be my French twist embossing folder, my Shine Bright embossing folder, and the single layer coordinating stencil, my golden rings embossing folder, and the single layer coordinating stencil. And we'll do the luster wax, the 4 colors that are readily available absolutely everywhere. And I'll do some of the wordies because you might need them if you like them. I'll do some of the Creative Expressions wordies and maybe the gold and silver opulent. We'll see. But it will all be on sale. You'll already know because it's on sale right now. So I hope that you had fun celebrating today with me and that I hope you remember this moment. And who knows, make a wish. Maybe you let somebody know, I'd really love to have that for Christmas. All right, let me tilt on up. I am Stacy. I am a licensed designer for Sizzix and Jacquard and Couture Creations, and we do a Take Two Tuesday every Tuesday, but only through December because coming 2025, I have a whole new Tuesday for you. I can't tell you what it is yet, but I think you're gonna love it. I'm very excited about it. I'll be announcing more and telling you more in December, but Take Two Tuesdays are gonna come to a close and a whole new something is coming your way every Tuesday, 6 p.m. sunny California time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern when we live chat during the premiere. And when's the next time I see you? Thursday. I will see you Thursday for our New For You event where we bring you the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers, all value priced from the get-go. So that's also at 6 p.m. sunny California time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, I'm Stacy and just excited to spend my time with you. Please go visit scrapbook.com. Do not hesitate on the paper, the cutting pads, and if you need a new machine, if you want a new machine, if you just love it because it looks pretty, visit scrapbook.com. They are a huge supporter of Sizzix, so we want to be a huge supporter of them. All right, you guys, again, I'm Stacy, and I will see you Thursday. Bye, everybody.